Revolution is in the air, everybody. Collective Influence Report for May 22nd, 23rd. I'm Chris McCleary, National Dream Center. And we're going to go on a journey between I-Ching, DreamBot, two forms of astrology. And our goal is to get the main influence that's going to be affecting all of us in the next couple of days and find a solution. We're going to be basing that off of the triangulation of all these things we're going to do. Now, for those of you who are new, at the very end of every one of these CIRF reports is the very last slide is the punchline, the summary. And so you'll know exactly what you need to do for the next couple of days. All right. And let's go ahead and get started. Now, normally I start with the DreamBot, but in this case, I did a very special I-Ching reading. And what we got was revolution, hexagram 49 with a changed line on line 4. And when you change line 4, you get hexagram 63 after completion. You're going to see this is really incredibly mirrored with the DreamBot run. And the I-Ching reading actually helped me refine the DreamBot memes. So remember this, from confusion to order, okay? From confusion to order. Next slide. Let's look at the DreamBot. We're going to be going from I-Ching 49 revolution, which before I had the blue arrows as chaos, because here's the blue arrows. Last, yelling, appearance, calling, ammunition, outcome, national, brand, as in branding something, turning, landing. So there's a bunch of change words in there. I called it chaos, but after the I-Ching reading, I said, that makes a lot more sense, actually, looking at this. It's a revolution. So then we did the red arrows. That's clearly the inner work, or the after completion. After completion is the order after the chaos, just like that sentence says. And it's about the inside, the inner work. So dream, self, center, inner, energy, and guide. And, this is very parallel with the I-Ching reading. Now, the only other thing we're missing here is the gold arrows, and that's the timeline or the experience. In this meme, look at the words here. We are quantifying or describing the experience, related, situation, quality, experiencing, rather. And then we have a time element to it. So the word today and the word date. And there was another word in here, last, that could probably arguably be put in there, but it's about the timeline of the whole experience itself. And so on the one hand, you start with revolution. On the other hand, you end with after completion. All right. So that's the bot run. Absolutely incredible in my mind. Let's go to the astrology and let's get the highlighter focus on. When we start today on the 22nd, actually I'm on the 21st. If you see this report a little bit later here, you're going to get a head start on what's happening here tomorrow, the Wednesday, the 22nd. In the morning, 9:46 a.m., Mars makes a sextile over to Uranus. This, my friends, is probably the most apropos alignment for a revolution. Mars sextile Uranus. Uranus is change. Mars wants to make that change. Mars wants to seek things to change, and it has the power to do so. So when they go, if this was a square, for example, that harmony would be kind of contentious, but this is harmonious. And so you almost get an opportunity to make revolution in your own life. Now, one must ask whether or not the collective influence, the DreamBot, is seeing some sort of revolution, or if it's just seeing this alignment in the sky. And why does that have to be exclusionary? Why can't we have both? And that might be what happens. So on a grand scale, we might see some revolution, but certainly the influence is there so you can make a big difference in your own life. All right, later in the day, then we've got the moon that makes a sextile to Neptune that might make things a little bit more dreamy. And this is where all the inner work comes in. This is it's kind of neat. So you have the revolution in the beginning, and then you've got after completion, because you've got a lot of reflection here with Saturn. Moon's going to transit a little bit further in the evening. It's going to conjunct Saturn. So you're going to probably feel a little bit more, restricted or planning and doing stuff like that. But the inner work happens a little bit later as most people are going to bed with Moon conjunct Pluto. Okay, so that's the after completion and the inner work. Let's look at Thursday. Thursday, Moon's going to make a trine with both the Sun and Mercury. And that trine is in tropical air signs. And so, we've got a lot of harmony. There's a lot of harmony in air signs and a lot of getting along and a lot of thinking. Air signs love mental aptitude. And then we've got a little bit later in the evening, Moon square Uranus. So we've got Uranus is tapped twice in the next 2 days. And so this becomes our main area for looking for the solution. We're going to be doing that later, but I want to look up at the memes again. Do we have these covered? Yes, we have revolution twice. We've got Uranus being tapped with change. And then you've got some deep inner work with the after completion. And then you've got experience here with not only you've got the moon earlier making a conjunction in the influence of Capricorn, but you also have Uranus getting tagged twice, like I said, in the sign of Taurus, in the tropical sign of Taurus. So you have a lot of experiential influence, all right? But let's look at the I-Ching. Remember, from the reading, it started at 49 and then it changed to 63. So let's look at what those mean. And let's take the focus off. Hexagram 49 is revolution. Times change, and with them their demands. Not everyone is called to this task, but on the man who has the confidence of the people, and only when the time is ripe. This is straight out of the Book of Changes. Fire in the lake, the image of revolution. Thus the superior man sets the calendar in order to make the seasons clear. Does that ring any bells so far? Remember the Dreambot when we had this experiential calendar kind of effect? This is exactly the nomenclature or the connection to the I-Ching, was that the calendar has to be right in order to start the revolution. So, look at the stars. There's no better time than right now. Now, let me read directly from the Book of Changes, also for the fourth change line. This is the 9th and the 4th. Radical changes require adequate authority. A man must have inner strength as well as influential position. What he does must correspond with a higher truth and must not spring from arbitrary or petty motivations. Then it brings great good fortune. If a revolution is not founded on such inner truth, the results are bad and it has no success. So we've got to make sure the timing is right. Check. I think we've got that one checked based on the astrology and the Dreambot and even the I-Ching reading. And so it's time. It's go time. Now, we must talk about after completion because that's part of the revolution. Hexagram 63 says, in life there are junctures when all forces are in balance and work in harmony, so that everything seems to be in the best of order. In such times, only the sage recognizes the moments that bode danger and knows how to banish it by means of timely precautions. Then it says, water over fire, the image of condition after completion. Thus, the superior man takes thoughts of misfortune and arms himself against it in advance. So, After the revolution is over, after the change is complete, there's a after completion peace, contentment. But let's not rest on our laurels. Let's be that sage that the I-Ching talks about and look forward in advance and see what the next issue might be, or the next misfortune, or the next potential pit. And let's take, he calls it arms against it, but let's take precautions against it and start now instead of waiting until that pothole shows up in real life. Okay. So here are the summary slides. The first one goes up on National Dream Center on social media. If you'd like to get these daily slides, then subscribe on Instagram and Facebook. Revolution, Mars, Sextile, Uranus pushes our souls towards meaningful, conscious change. And what I didn't say, before I get the summary slide, I want to go back and show you what what the solution will be. So we talked about Uranus. We talked about the I-Ching's reading, the 2 hexagrams, and it is undoubtedly this revolution. The Uranus is the key to this whole revolution because of the change. Without the Mars aspect, Uranus is going to be basically, you have no choice in the change. It's going to happen to you. With Mars now, you get to make that change. That's the difference. And so Uranus being hit twice with once with the moon and once with Mars makes our solution over here in Aries, Sidereal Aries. And Sidereal Aries is perfect for a revolution because it's brave and it's confident and it's not afraid of going forward with my needs and my desires. Boom. We've also got, what's interesting, you remember you had the moon over here conjunct with Saturn and Pluto. That's in Sidereal Sagittarius. And so we've got 2 fire signs that really get hit up today. And I think that's absolutely perfect to augment, especially augment that influence of wanting to just sit back and experience things. So we're doing more than just experience. We're going to go out and take the bull by the horns, literally in this case, and make life the way we want to see it. You got 2 days to do this. Revolution is in the air. So let's go to the last summary slide. And this is going to be on Interzension, Instagram and Facebook. So it gives you the current energy playbook. The influence is Mars, Sextile, Uranus. And here's the solution. Revolution. Draw from the fire within. Bravely change your life for the better. Face your inner demons and demolish them. The warrior in the zodiac, it's got to be Aries, and Sag's got the arrows. So we've got the stars on our side. If you want change in your life, it is today, tomorrow, and Thursday. And I don't know beyond that. We haven't seen the influences past that. So we'll check back on Thursday and we'll see where we're at. Maybe we continue this revolution theme, or maybe it's time for something completely different. But you've got 2 full days to work on this and get those inner demons demolished. All right. We'll see you back on Thursday evening. Thank you for everybody's subscribing, sharing, and commenting. Thanks, everybody.